Hey everyone, this is Tox from critshappen.com. Thanks for watching and welcome to this, our Overlord turn in our Choose Your Own Adventure critical situation. If you're not sure what we're talking about, there is a link on your screen that you can click to go watch our introductory video. But for those of you who are interested in the darker side and watching the Overlord's turn and talking about what we could do with the Overlord situation, welcome and let's wreak some havoc. So we have two cards in our hand that we did not show you during setup for the Overlord. We have Frenzy and we have Dark Fortune. In addition, we just drew Dark Charm. Now, Leoric is sitting here at half health. There's a good opportunity with Dark Charm that if we play it and allow him to attack himself, then we could come in with more monsters to attack our main heroes that are in front up here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play Dark Charm. Dark Charm says, play this card on a hero at the start of your turn. The hero tests their willpower. If he passes, draw one Overlord card. If he fails, you may perform a move or attack action with that hero as if he were one of your monsters this turn. You cannot force him to suffer fatigue or use a potion, but you may force him to attack himself. That's what we're hoping for. Now Leoric has a willpower of 2. In order to test that attribute, he takes a gray and a black die, rolls them together, and must roll equal to or less than his willpower to pass this test. And he rolls a 5, which is nowhere near, so Leoric will fail. So what we're going to get to do now is Leoric is going to attack himself. So Leoric has Sunburst as his primary weapon, which is a yellow and blue for an attack roll. We're going to go ahead and roll those, and he will defend against himself as well. And he gets 1, 2 hearts, 7 range, he doesn't need range because he's attacking himself, and 1 surge. So we're going to go ahead and use that surge to pump it up by 2, making it a total of 4. And then he'll roll 1 defense die on himself, and he will miss completely, which is exactly what the Overlord needed. So he will take 4 additional damage, which will put him at 8. Now, that will also knock him out. Now that he has 8 damage on him, he only had 2 fatigue before. He's going to take 3 more fatigue, which will put him at a maximum of 5 fatigue. So he's maxed out for all of that. And then, of course, he is going to be removed from the board, and one of his player tokens is going to be placed in his stead. And then finally, the one thing that I always continuously, inevitably forget is that the Overlord is allowed to draw a card. And the Overlord draws a card called Word of Misery. Word of Misery says, play this card at the start of your turn. During this turn, each time a hero suffers damage, he also suffers 1 fatigue in addition to the damage suffered. Well, we're already past our turn, so that's not going to be able to matter on this turn. The Dark Charm goes into the Overlord's discard pile. We're left with Frenzy and Dark Fortune. And now we get to potentially start attacking even deeper. So first we're going to attack and activate with our cave spiders. So the minion monsters can move 4. So we'll move these guys 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not going to be able to get within range to attack. So we'll go ahead and move them one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're closing in, but not quite there. More importantly, with Leoric being knocked out now, I can move these 2 spiders up in here, which could be bad because Astrian has an ability that whenever she starts a minion monster activates starting adjacent to her, then they're stunned. But for right now, we're going to be okay. We'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll put that heart right up there. And then we'll attack with him on to Reinhardt. Now, the spiders, the minions, have a yellow and a blue attack. And Reinhardt has a couple of different options. So the first thing he has is a wooden shield, which says exhaust this card after rolling defense dice and add 1 shield to the results. In addition, he has a thing called a heavy cloak, which says exhaust this card after the dice are rolled to cancel 1 surge on an attack that targets you. So he does have some pretty good defenses. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we get. Ooh, we get a miss. That's huge from that monster. So that doesn't matter for Reinhardt. He doesn't have to defend against any of it. The master monster is going to go ahead and move, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll move his 3 hearts with him to show that he has damage on him still. And he's going to go ahead and attack. He also has a blue and a yellow. We'll see what he gets. And he gets a much better roll. He gets 3 total damage. So Reinhardt now has the option of exhausting his heavy cloak and canceling a surge, which won't matter, or exhausting his card for his wooden shield after the defense is rolled. He has a defense of 1 gray, so we'll go ahead and roll that. And he gets 1. He'll go ahead and exhaust his wooden shield and add another, so that's 2. So he'll take a total of 1 damage. He has a total of 7 damage on him previously, so now he goes up to 8. Leaving him with only 4 health. Now that's the activation for the spiders. Not great, but not terrible. Let's go ahead and jump into the fire imps now. Now I know what some of you are saying. Some of you are probably saying, "Ooh, I should have played Dark Fortune to re-roll the blue die that was a miss." I could have, but I'm more concerned about getting my fire imps in here and burning people. So, let's go ahead and immediately play Frenzy. Frenzy says, play this card when activating a monster during your turn. That monster may perform an additional attack action this turn, in addition to its 2 normal 2 actions. So, the fire imps are ranged, which is nice because they don't have to be right next to somebody. But if you remember, our master monster has the ability of combustible. So we're going to move him up and he'll have the frenzy, which is going to basically allow him to attack twice using the possibility of burning Reinhardt. Now, the fire imps, the masters, have a blue and a yellow attack die. So let's see what this guy rolls on his first attack. He rolls pretty good. He gets 3 hearts and 2 surges. And that would be able to possibly bulk it up to 4 hearts and an additional surge for the burn. So this is a pretty good roll. The fact that the wooden shield is already exhausted from the previous attack with Reinhardt means that he's not going to be able to use anything for that. But he can exhaust his heavy cloak and after the dice are rolled to cancel a surge on an attack that targets him. So he's going to go ahead and exhaust his heavy cloak and remove one of these surges. So we'll just go ahead for now and turn this over like this to show 1 heart without the surge. So same amount of hearts, but 1 less surge. Reinhardt will go ahead and roll his defense, and he completely misses. So we can now either do 3 damage to him and burn him, or 4 damage to him. And I think as the Overlord, the better solution is to do 4 damage. Because not only is that going to do 4 damage, but it's going to get him up to a total of 12, and that will fully fatigue him, fully deplete him of health, and he also is now knocked out, which is pretty rough for these poor heroes. So Reinhardt comes off, and up comes a player token for him to show where he was. It's not looking very good for Ashrian right now. But we also get to draw an additional card for our Overlord, and we draw a Dash. Dash says play this card when activating a monster during your turn. That monster may perform an additional move action this turn in addition to its normal 2 actions. Well, it's good, but I'm not so sure we necessarily need that at all. Alright, now that was only the first attack by our master monster. So we have an entire second attack to roll. So we're going to use our second attack against Ashrian. Because if you remember, we played Frenzy, which allows us to make an additional attack. And normally your monsters only get 1 attack. He rolls 2 hearts. Well, Ashrian has 10 health and 4 damage. So this could be a good time to go ahead and use that Dark Fortune. So let's go ahead and play Dark Fortune, which says play this card after you roll dice. You may re-roll 1 die. So we're going to go ahead, and I think we will re-roll. We'll get risky here and re-roll the blue die. And we get 2 hearts. So we have a total of 3 hearts. Now Asrian also has a wooden shield, which is really nice. So she can go ahead and exhaust that to potentially add a defense to this. We'll roll her 1 defense die. She rolls 2. She can use her wooden shield, and that will completely negate all the damage from the attack. Now, we still have 3 more minion monsters. So I think what we'll do is we will first move this guy 1, 2, 3, and he will go ahead and shoot at Asrian as well. So we'll use a blue and a yellow, and we will get, wow, 4 hearts and a surge. Now the surge could either be +1 range or it could be burn. Well, we just rolled enough range. So we have 1, 2 range, and we rolled 2 on that. So we're good on range, so that'll probably be either a burn or unused, which wouldn't be really helpful. So the wooden shield is exhausted, so it's not going to help her. She'll go ahead and roll her defense and get a great defense roll of 3, but she will still take 1 damage. So we will add an additional heart of damage to her, putting her at half health, and we'll add a burn token. And burn says you or a figure adjacent to you may perform an action to discard this card or token. At the end of your turn, you and each friendly figure adjacent to you suffers 1 damage. So burning is bad for you and everyone around you. Now we still have 2 more guys. So we'll go ahead and move 1, 2, and we'll shoot with this guy. Let's see what we get here. We get 1, 2, and a surge. And Asrian rolls 1 as a defense, so she's going to take 1 more damage. Now, we have more than enough range with the 7. The burn can't be multiplied, so we'll go ahead and we'll have 6 damage now on Asrian. We have 1 last attack. He is not going to move. He's just going to attack, and we'll go ahead and fire off. Oh, and he misses. This is where it would be great to have that Dark Fortune again, but it didn't really help. Now, even though I say it didn't really help, that was pretty painful from an Overlord's turn. The Overlord knocked out Leoric with Dark Charm, then came in and pounded on Reinhardt, and now the heroes have a really, really tough time going. So, let us know what you think. How would you have handled this given all the information that you know from our introductory video and that you got in this video? Did you like what we did, or would you do something else depending on how the results happened from the dice? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave your comments below in the YouTube channel. Of course, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and join in the discussion there by searching Crits Happen, or at our homepage at critshappen.com. But until we see you next time, we hope you've enjoyed this critical situation. Feel free, if you haven't already, to take a look at the hero's turn in the same format and see what they could do or what you would do. But overall, thanks so much for watching, and until we see you next time, keep rolling those dice. We hope they're all crits. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, you dumb Overlord, you forgot to use Valindra. No, we just wanted to make sure you were watching all the way to the end. So Valindra is now going to make her move. She can move up to 5 spaces. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, and she can go over everything, and she's going to attack that miner. Now the miners are very simple. The miners have 5 health, no speed, and a defense of a single gray die. But to resolve this attack, we use Valindra's Lieutenant card. And in a 3-hero game, she has 3 speed, which doesn't matter now because she's the shadow, so you use that speed. 14 health and a brown and gray defense die. But more importantly, she has a red and a blue attack. So let's go ahead and see what happens with these miners, or this miner. We're going to go ahead and roll her blue and red attack. She gets 3 damage plus a surge. The surge can be fire breath or the surge can be burn. We'll talk about that in a second. The miner rolls 1 defense, so he's going to take 2 damage. And that's going to be put next to this miner to remind us that he has 2 damage on him. But the surge can be either fire breath or burn. Now the fire breath allows starting with the target space and tracing a path of 4 spaces in any direction. All figures on the path are affected by the attack. Well, that would be really good if Asrian was near that area, but she's not, so it's not going to help us. And then burn is the final piece. If this attack deals at least 1 damage, the target is burning. So we're going to go ahead and add a burn token to that guy as well. So Valindra is just coming in and pounding. She's already killed one miner. She took this guy down to a little bit of over half health and set him on fire. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Keep rolling those dice. We hope they're all crits.